Hey everyone, welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. So, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending part of your afternoon with me. So, new Pope. That was quick. I had anticipated that there was going to be a little bit of a longer wait before a pope was announced. And yeah, 2 days, uh, 4 ballots, and the new pope is Robert Francis Provost. Originally born in Chicago, but spent the majority of his life in Peru. So he holds both American and Peruvian citizenship. So, I got to be honest with you, my initial reaction um, was, hey, Sherry, yes, they already chose very fast. And hello, Anita. Hello, Mary. Hi, Marby Gangora. Um, my initial reaction was that, oh no, American. And then I thought, okay, just don't get your panties in a twist. Just give it a second. Wait. And so when I saw him actually emerge, and when the camera kind of went on his face, I thought, oh, bless him. Like, he just seems so, on first blush, very approachable. Someone that you could have a conversation with, and so on. And I must say that my thinking did a full 360. So he has chosen the name Pope Leo the 14th. And his background and the speech that he made, I thought, okay, yeah, he mentioned several times about the need to build bridges, and that we're all in this together. And I think that he's kind of the guy to possibly do it. He was one of the advisors to Pope Francis. He is, according to some, he's considered young and maybe inexperienced. He's only 69, which I thought was funny because I'll be 69 later on this year. And I thought, okay, we'll see. So anyway, yeah, I thought that we might pull a couple cards and just see how this is going to go, what the energy is going to be like. So hello, Mary. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Roger M. Rivera. I think that and did I miss anyone? Britta Anderson. Hello, Britta. Kirsten M. Hello. Thank you for being here. I think that he is going to be fairly inclusive. And I think that he is going to, he is not going to dismiss, I think, the LGBTQ community. I think that he's a moderate. And he very much is following in the footsteps of Pope Francis. And I thought it was kind of cute that, yeah, his middle name is Francis. So I'm wondering if Pope Francis might have had something to do with it on the other side, right? I was a little concerned about some of the cardinals that were being considered, because I felt that they were very much going to be taking the church backwards instead of forward. And I do understand the uh, the, the respect for tradition. I get that. Yes, tradition is something that, we kind of rely on because we know what's expected with certain traditions. That doesn't mean that we can't review traditions and amend them, right? See how it's going to go and so on. So, yeah, I thought we might just quickly take a look. Hello, Old Silver. Hello, Louise Foat. Can't wait for coffee. Oh, believe me, it will be discussed. Yeah, so yeah, let's just quickly take a look at yeah, at well, I want to start off with his energy because he did appear very humble, and his you could see that he was just overcome with emotion. And I think he recognizes that this is it's kind of a job that everyone wants to apply for, but no one wants to get, because he is going to be scrutinized, and his theories and opinions are going to be looked at 10 ways to sundown. But I do get the feeling that he is someone that you can have a conversation with, and if your point of view differs from his, he's not just going to dig his heels in. So let's take a look. Just like being a president, resident. Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah. And 1.4 billion under his guidance. So I'm feeling confident. So let's take a look and see how he is feeling right now. This was not an easy decision for him. I think that he is expecting some pushback from some of the sort of hardliners, but he's willing to go forward. I'm drawn to the moon, the crescent moon, kind of behind here, and that yes, this was a very very emotional decision for him. And that is crossed with the star. So he appreciates the faith that has been put in him. I think he's going to do well. I think that he's going to be progressive in a lot of ways. He's going to carry on with a lot of the ideas that Pope Francis held, particularly when it came to, look after the least among you. He made several remarks in his speech about building bridges, looking after each other. We're in this together. Don't be afraid. Really kind of espousing a lot of the things that I think Jesus would say if he was here right now, which is, build bridges, not walls. I also like the fact that he is American. So when it comes time to speak to some of the folks in the U.S., he go talk to them in their language. So, okay, I think he's going to do well. In the past, the Nine of Cups, things had gone well for him. He kind of rose fairly quickly through the ranks, if you will. And the current, sorry, the I'm a little more emotional than I thought I would be, because I'm Catholic, but I've been a non-practicing Catholic for a long time, and yet this feels really, really kind of emotional. Okay, so the current situation is the magician. He's going to be able to approach a lot of people and speak to them in a way that is going to make them feel heard. Okay. The current situation is the Ace of Pentacles. He's very much wedded to his values, the things that he finds important, such as social justice, such as looking after the least among us, such as having dialogue instead of picking up weapons and so on. So I think that he's going to be someone that's going to stick to his principles, and he's going to be very inclusive in the things that he does. His message is going to get through very quickly. There's people are going to be talking about him, and concentrating on the things that he has done right in the past. So the wands here, not only is it action that takes place quickly, but it's communicating with people and so on. And I think the overall, oh, I love this, the Sun. The overall outcome is, I think he's going to do well, and he is going to he's not going to be someone that is going to appear to be divisive. He's going to be very, very inclusive, and he's going to live the message that he preaches. I don't think that he is someone that is going to be that's going to be overly fond of the pomp and circumstance with the office. I anticipate that he's going to, one of his first trips is going to be to Peru, and then from there to kind of talk to different people and see if he can't get them to kind of come to agreement on certain things where they might currently disagree. And yes, old Silver, yeah, Cheeto tried. Although he did very, very quickly congratulate the new Pope and point out that he is American. It's an American Pope. You know what? I tend to view it more as a Peruvian Pope, a South American Pope, just like Francis. He may have been born in Chicago, but he spent the majority of his lifetime being in service and doing missionary work and so on in Peru. So I think that's probably where he's going to go first. And if he meets with Trump, when he meets with Trump, there will be no need for interpreters in the room as he tells Trump to knock it off. He was fairly critical of some of the comments that J.D. Vance made, and he made his feelings known. He made his feelings very clear. So I think that is hello, Fifth World. I think that is something that we can take joy in. That, yeah, it wasn't a hardliner. It wasn't one of the cardinals who wanted to take the billion plus Catholics and take them back to the ninth century, right? So absolutely. And yes, Roger, I think that as we get older and we realize that there is more to life than just one set of rules, and you cannot deviate from them in any way, shape, or form, or bad things are going to happen to you. I don't like the Catholic idea of, you're here on earth, you're here to suffer, you're here to be of service to others until it hurts, give until it hurts. And then at the end, you can hope that you've done enough that you're going to get into heaven. Otherwise, well, you're going to the other place, right? That to me is very much fear-based. And I don't think that people should make decisions and act out of fear. So, yeah, there are things that as Catholics we know are wrong, and we know that it's time for change. It's time for change. And this it's funny, but hello, Katie and Proud. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah. I'll tell you a quick little story, okay? And this was something that I heard years and years ago, and it made me think, and I hope that it's going to make you see that, yeah, things need to change. So, young couple got married, and one of their first major family meals that they had, the young bride was making roast beef. And so she bought a roast beef and she prepared it and she cut it in half as she put it in the pan. And so the husband said, "That's interesting. Why didn't you just leave the roast the way it was? Why did you cut it in half?" And she said, "Well, I don't know. That's just the way my mom always did it. So, that's what I do." So the next opportunity, when the couple went to visit her parents, the husband, the young groom, said to his mother-in-law, "By the way, just out of curiosity, why do you cut your roast beef in half when you put it in the pan?" And she said, "Well, it's the way my mom did it. I don't know actually why we do it. We just do." Well, all right, still didn't get his answer until they met with the grandmother. And he asked her, and she said, "Oh, honey, when my husband and I were first married, someone had given us a roasting pan. But times were tough back then, so it was a very small roasting pan. So when I went to make roast beef for dinner, I couldn't fit the whole thing in the little pan that we had. The only way that I could fit it in there was to cut it in half." And so that was the answer, was what the grandmother had done out of necessity, the others just carried through and did it without thinking. They blindly followed. If you have roast beef, you cut it in half before you put it in the pan, even though they now had bigger pans. So I think for me, the lesson in that was that, we can honor tradition, but we can also examine it and say, okay, why do we do that? Why, where did this start? And if there's room for change, if the end result is still that you end up with a roast beef dinner on the table, is it really that important how you get there? Whether it's in, two pieces or one piece. Ultimately, dinner's on the table. So that was that. I thought that it was a very telling story. So, all righty. And I highly doubt whether he. Yeah. We. I'm not sure that I believe in the concept of heaven and hell. I think that some people, when they get to the other side, have a more challenging time dealing with the effects of what they've done here on Earth. I think the universe always balances everything out. So for those who are, if you're not learning the lesson of inclusion and love for everyone, the ultimately, if you want to consider it a punishment of sorts, is you get to come back and you get to do it over and over and over again until you get the lesson. So, yeah, I think that it would be really uncomfortable to be there when the Orange Menace does his life review. I think he's going to feel every bit of pain that he has caused everyone else. And also, you've heard me say before that as a person, I wouldn't give the Orange Menace the time of day. No. On a spiritual level, however, I can see that in order for us to progress, we have to go through some pretty nasty things. And no one is better equipped than the Orange Menace to do that, right? If we had someone who wasn't quite so in your face, doing things that the majority of people can look at and go, that's wrong. That on so many levels, that's wrong. This kind of manipulation of people and stowing fear and dissent and so on, it would have prolonged the agony. We would eventually get to that place where we realize those things. It would just have taken longer. So sometimes I think of him as the Band-Aid. Do you want to pull it off slowly and experience that pain? Or do you want to just grab it by the end and go 1, 2, 3, rip and be done with it? So yeah, I would not want to have to answer for everything that he has done, but just know that he is going to experience in the spiritual realm everything that he has done. Everything. Not only him, but those that are around him as well. Those that are going along and doing things that are very self-serving, and where they have gotten away from the idea of we're all in this together, right? You hurt one of us, you hurt all of us. It's there is no me and you. It's we. So there you go. Hello, Viviani. Nice to see you here. And yes, Sherry says, I believe in the Force. Obi-Wan was right. Exactly. And you know what? It's not difficult. it really isn't difficult when you change your mindset to be um, thinking in terms of love, acceptance, and kindness. It they're they can exist together, and they not only enhance your life, but they enhance the lives of the people around you. So, is it any of my business who someone loves? No one is knocking down on my door saying, you must live this way or you must live that way. I have a choice. I can say no, thank you. No. And for me to stand in judgment of someone else and, to say that, oh, well, what they're doing is wrong, it's immoral. Who made me the moral uh, queen of the universe? Right? That's not my job. My job is to do the best that I can with what I have at the moment. And if I do it with love and respect and compassion for others, that will come back to me. That the love, compassion, fairness, all of that is going to come back to me because that's what I'm putting out. So, yeah, none of us are here to stand in judgment of someone else, right? We can, there are things that we can kind of agree as a collective that are simply wrong. To what extent you take it, that's your own personal decision. That's what you do with it. You don't. Um, yeah. When we stand in judgment, be prepared to be judged, right? So, hello, Kimby. Nice to see you. I wouldn't want to be 45. He's going to. Oh, yes, Sherry. He most certainly is. And that is, he is. He's never grown up. He's never grown up. He is stuck in that 2-year-old mindset of, I want what I want when I want it. And there is no other way to see things except through my eyes and what makes me happy at this particular moment. So, yes. And Q Sky, yes. War is immoral. Invading countries, displacing people from their homes. Yes. Yes. That is so it is so wrong on so many different levels. Well, I want that piece of land, so I'm just going to take it. It doesn't belong to you. There's a lot of, if you listen to or read up on some of the Native American teachings, they offer such a wealth of common sense guidance, right? With a lot of the tribes believe that, he who gives life should decide if life is taken. And that the kind of lesson behind that is that women make the decisions about going to war because they know what's at stake. They know what it's like to carry a child, to give birth to a child, to nurture that child, to help them to grow into happy, healthy individuals. Mothers generally don't want to send their children to war, and they don't want to see other mothers' children killed either. So, when they had when they would have councils, the women were very much part of that. They would decide if a tribe was going to go to war. And it generally had nothing to do with land. Yes. Yeah. The Native American culture does not believe in land ownership. How can you own something that everybody has? You're, we are stewards of the land. We are here to preserve it and take care of it until, um, until it flourishes and we pass it on to the next generation. And we want to, what we pass on to the next generation should be a little better than what we have inherited. So, yeah, Sherry, yeah, the grandmothers made the final decisions on war. They made the final decisions on a lot of things. They're very much included um, in those traditions. And it was a very serious matter for them to consider taking up arms against another tribe. They would always try to have conversation, to talk, to reason things out, and everything was done sort of by consensus. Right? It's not a case of, well, I'm the leader and this is what I want, and you all have to do what I tell you to do because, I'm the leader. No, you're not. You are one of many. You have an opinion um, on something that we're more than willing to listen to, but that doesn't mean that we're going to agree with you. Sometimes you're going to be, you know, your opinion is going to have a little more sway than someone else's. Other times, you're going to have to give up that opinion in favor of someone else. The idea is to make a good decision as a collective, right? That we move forward in unison and we all stand behind the decisions that we have made. So, yeah, and and yes, old Silver, no, we will not have peace until we have equality. And when we have equality, we have respect, and then we can have some of that peace. And you can't find that peace outside of yourself. You have to approach it from a place of peace. You have to realize that you are part of a greater whole. You have a purpose to contribute and to contribute positively to that whole. And it's when you have that inner peace where you know yourself and you're better able to look at other people and be willing to consider their opinion without automatically trying to push yours ahead, right? Which is what a lot of people do. Is we're having a discussion, sometimes loud discussion about different things. If you don't stop to fully hear what the other person is saying, if your automatic default is, well, you disagree with me, so I'm going to listen to what you're saying, not because I'm going to gain more knowledge, but because I want to pick holes in your argument. And so you're already starting to argue before they have finished their thought. You already have an argument that you're going to present to them because they are wrong and you are right. And really, it's not about being right, being wrong. If we all strive to find that middle ground and to find where we have agreement versus disagreement, we're all going to walk away happy, right? We're all going to say, okay, well, you know what? For the good of the tribe, for the good of the family, for the good of the country, whatever that might be, this is what we're going to do, and we're all going to do our very best to achieve that positive collective want. So, yeah, Ten of Swords. Yes, my father always referred to them as council elders. Exactly. That is one of the things that I really enjoy doing is every year there is a tribe close to me called the Tsatina Nation, and they have a powwow every year. And I love to go because when you are in that space, when you see the respect that they have for each other, the way that they speak to each other, the way that they honor the wisdom of the elders, and they pay attention to what is being said. Not, they're not too quick to go, oh, grandma, we have computers now, you don't know what you're talking about. No, no, not at all. So I love the energy of the powwows. I love listening to the drumming circles because it's like, I've often said, it is like feeling and hearing the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And yeah, you can't help but feel included, that you're part of something much bigger than yourself. You can't see it. You can't put your arms around it. You can't grab it. You just feel it. And that to me is absolutely fabulous. I I look forward to the powwow each and every year. I also like the food there too. So, or just saying, just saying. Yeah. Oh, Ten of Swords. My grandmother was an elder, Mohawk. Nice. Nice. And Anita K likes to go to the powwows. Hello, Witchy Garden and Jenny Berlin. Nice to see you guys here. Nice to see you. I will remind you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm very close to 5,500 subscribers. I think it's very, very achievable. So if you have not already subscribed, please do so. And then get on the phone and talk to all your friends and tell them that they need to come to this channel and subscribe. Okay? Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Do with it what you will. So, yeah, Kim B, believe it or not, there are several web pages that are they're devoted to well, they will tell you where different nations are having their powwows and where they're located, whether it's in the US, whether it's in Mexico, whether it's in Canada. And so you can, there's generally something that is within, at least within driving distance, right? So, yeah, take a look at it. And I think if you Google, yeah, powwows near me or something along those lines, yeah, it will come up. And it's surprising how many of them. And they are just fabulous events because not only do you get to experience the culture, the food, which is fabulous, but you're treated to the drumming circles. You're treated to the fancy dancers. You're treated to like the jingle dress dancers. It is just so much, and it's so beautiful. And each one of the different dancing groups has a story behind them, and you get to talk to other people and learn more about their culture. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I find this fascinating. How how is this done? How is that? Just ask questions. People want to share their culture with you. they're just not going to come up to you and go, yeah, okay, so you want to know what's going on here? Well, I'll explain it to you. So, yeah, I remember one of the most horrifying things that I ever saw at a powwow. And it was a couple who were from Germany. And I would like to believe that they simply did not know better. That's what I'm going to go with. One of the things that often happens at the powwow is the different families will contribute, and they'll save things throughout the year, and then during the giveaway they give them away, and that is sort of as a thank you to different spirits who have guided them that year, and so on. Very often, it's someone has graduated university, and so the family will celebrate that, and so on. Well, so here I was, and I'm watching this, and it was a giveaway. And this couple were sitting fairly close to the edge of the circle when someone came up and gave them a gift. And the idea is you accept it, you say thank you, and you treasure it. Someone gave you something that they didn't have to. Well, the next group that came up with their gifts for the giveaway, one of the ladies that was basically giving out items had this beautiful native blanket, and the lady, the wife in this couple, spotted the blanket, got up, took the gift that she was given, walked up to the woman who was going to be giving away the blanket, and started to explain to her that she wanted to give her this other gift, whatever that might have been, and she wanted that Native American blanket in return. And my heart just sank. I thought, oh, how could you? This is a tradition that you don't get to choose. Oh, I don't like that gift. Oh, I'll take one of those. That's not what the giveaway is about. The giveaway is giving to others as a way of saying thank you to the elders, to the universe, to the Great Spirit for the blessings that have come your way. And I still remember it to this day, and I can still feel that that knot in the pit of my stomach. And it really bothered me for a long time. And I finally had to alter my thinking and take it from the white man has a lot of has big cojones, let's put it that way, and realize that, okay, it is entirely possible, and it is within the realm of possibility, that this couple had no idea the meaning or the significance of the giveaway. They simply saw it as an opportunity to barter. So it doesn't make it any easier to swallow, but I'll go along with that. I will give them the benefit of the doubt. So there we go. Hello, Butterfly Readings with Linda De Gonzalez. How are you? So, and Witchy Garden says, I grew up in a strict Italian Catholic family. I'm a spiritual person and not religious, and this Pope gives me hope. Yes, as he does. I think that he is progressive. I think that he has a reputation um, for for being measured and for listening. Um, what Listening to what the other person had to say. So, yes, Kimby, one would think that she could send the look on the woman who had the blanket was, yeah, you could read everything on her face, and it was a sense of disappointment, of betrayal, of, even in this day and age, you take from me. That it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. Ah, all righty, you guys. Yes, Ten of Swords. Yeah, a giveaway is not a swap meet. No. And I remember the first time that I was given a gift, and my sister was at the powwow with me, and she kind of looked at me and she said, "They think you're one of the elders," and I went, "Oh, that's okay, that's fine." So whatever I am given at the giveaway, I am grateful for. And anytime that I use it, I remember this was at the powwow and this is what I got. And it was during a giveaway. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings on the family that did this, because it's not a small giveaway. These things are huge. All year long, they will contribute funds and buy things and save them for the giveaway. It's, yeah. Anyway, uh, pink smoke. Oh, Mark Brisbois says, okay, let me put this up. The Catholic women's group behind the Sistine Chapel lit pink smoke to protest not allowing women ordinations. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. And one of the things that I found interesting in watching the announcement and the presence on the balcony of the new pope was, when they would pan down to the bands, there were several women that were playing in the band, and I thought, that's interesting. You would think that maybe they wouldn't be allowed in there, but they were. So I'm going to take that as a small step towards progress. So yeah, I think when you're called to a life of service, or to minister to others. I don't think that most people would start by questioning you about on your stance of things. Like if you're mourning, people are there to give you comfort. They don't say, "Oh, wait, before I send my thoughts and prayers, what are your views on the LGBTQ community? How do you feel about, women serving as priests?" And so they're just there. They see another human being in need, and they come and they're there. So yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And yeah, Sherry, yeah. You don't say a word except thank you. Thank you. And part of the giveaway tradition is, when the one family is done, there is chanting, there is drumming, and there is, you hold up your gift, as thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. Right. So there we go. All righty. So you guys, thank you so much for being here with me and for listening to me pontificate. So yes, I do have a lot of hope for the new pope. Um, and it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do over the next little while. It's also going to be interesting to see who's going to speak out against him, because I think that is going to say um, it's going to say an awful lot about some of the other people who were involved in this voting process, and it may point out to um, where their truth lies, where their hearts are. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what he's going to have to say, and and I'm feeling very, very positive. And for those of you who just joined me, who weren't here at the beginning, I said in the beginning that when they announced that, yeah, it was Robert Provost, the American, I went, oh no. And then that quickly disappeared when I saw him come out on the balcony, and um, just the humbleness in his face, and the whole aura around him. And I immediately changed my mind, immediately, and it was, no, this is good. This is good. So yeah, judge not, lest ye be judged, Marina. Okay. All right. So again, thank you for being here with me. I will be on Val's channel at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for our Messages for Lightworkers show. And then at 7 p.m. this evening, we will be on my channel, and I'll be joined by Cleo the Seer and Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, for our Golden Girls Coffee Clutch. So I haven't put together my list of what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be good. So make sure that you join us for that. All right, everyone. Take care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you later on today. Bye for now.